Hello everyone, welcome to CG Innovate, the platform to connect the Chhattisgarh diaspora and share their accomplishments. Today in this very special episode, we have Dr. Ajit Orvankar, who is one of the most prominent people in the area of education and tribal welfare. He has received a state award from the President of India in the area of tribal welfare, and we are here to speak on a lot of issues and hope for looking forward to a very exciting discussion. So welcome, sir. Welcome, CG Innovate, and
Hello.
It's very
Hello,
great.
Harshad. Hi, everyone.
Yes. So before we begin, just in your own words, we would like to have we would like to know a little bit about yourself and your love for the land, as well as your vision for the education of level of education of Chhattisgarh.
Okay. So it seems like you're given a multiple answer question. So, I will have to answer in so many dimensions. Thank you so much, Harshad and Natasha, for having me here in this prestigious forum of CG Innovate. I basically hail from a place called Dalli Rajra, which is an iron ore mines for Bhilai steel plant. I did my schooling from there, and thereafter I did it from Bhilai. And then I graduated mechanical engineering from Engineering College Raipur, which is currently the NIT Raipur. Then, moved to do an MBA in marketing and then in HR and then doctorate in management and post-graduation in clinical psychology. So this is about my academic background, a couple of more diplomas and certifications. And my love and passion is basically working with youth students, helping them select the right careers. So that's what we've been doing the last 3 decades, almost 29 years. And I'm happy to share that in these 3 decades, we have touched upon the lives of more than 180,000 students. We have so many stories, students from Northeast, from Kashmir, from rural and the LWE regions of Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, MP, these all. And by passion, I am a blogger. I write for Times of India last 12 years, as well as I write for the Hitwat. So these are all about me. I am an international trainer and I train corporates on behavioral subjects. Thought engineering is my signature workshop because, everything begins with a thought. So I love to work with thoughts.
That's absolutely wonderful to hear, sir, that you've touched the 80,000 student lives, as well as I think the area of work that you're doing in thought engineering. I think that's one of the most, let's say, burning issues. Everybody now has focused on uh, how micro manipulation of thoughts can drive positive behaviors.
Actually, Arshad, more so during and post pandemic, maintenance of your thoughts is very, very important because it's our observation and a lot of research and studies also there that as we all know, COVID, there is no medicine. And most of the deaths which has happened during COVID, you can attribute it more to the scare of the disease than to the disease itself. It's just like the snake bite. People often, die more because they're scared about it, and less out of the venom which has been, pumped into the body because of that bite. So it's all about thoughts. If we are able to manipulate our thoughts to make our life better, peaceful, happy, and joyous, all the more good for us.
Right, sir. Absolutely correct. And since you have been in touch with the youth, my question is with respect to people or students and youth of Chhattisgarh, what do you think are the most contemporary issues that the youth of the state must consider, and any guidance that you can share on their selection of careers and success. So yeah, that will be fantastic.
Yeah, this is very pertinent question, Harshad. Basically, two very contemporary issues. One is because this class 10th board exam got cancelled, and then this 12th board. And 12th board happens to be that landmark from where students navigate from school and transition into their undergraduate and it's not just the student. Actually, the complete families prepares for this 12th board examination, and it's almost 700 days of preparation, and at the last moment you come to know that exams not happening. So many questions people have, parents have: what will happen, will I get a certificate, what kind of ranking will happen, what will how will it impact me in my life going forward, so on and so forth. So this is something very, very relevant as of now, and through CG Innovate, this channel, I would want to, tell all students and parents that yes, it's unfortunate. Exams should have happened. Nobody wanted that exams should be cancelled. But considering, the safety of students, their life, nobody wanted to put it on risk, and hence the exams is cancelled. But nevertheless, don't worry. The importance of class 10 certificate, to my understanding and to whatever I have experienced and you would have also experienced, is at best to give you a date of birth proof. That's it, nothing more than that. In the long-term scope of things, importance of class 12 certificate is just to help you transition into one of the good colleges for undergraduate studies. Going further in your life, what counts is your abilities, your skills, your emotional intelligence, your man management abilities, and then you have a lot of scope to improve yourself and upgrade yourself. So students, parents, they should not worry at all. And definitely, since this is something, the pandemic is concerning each and everyone. It's not just for you and me or for Raipur and Chhattisgarh, it's all across. So it's not just about education boards in India, but I'm in touch with a lot of international universities. They are also being flexible and accommodating in their terms, conditions for admission rules, and so on and so forth. So yes, everyone understands and should not be much panicky about this. Have a little bit of patience. Things are going to unfold in the most beautiful manner. And I also want to tell through this channel all students and parents that this pandemic batch, be it 10th, 11th, or 12th, is I consider them the most lucky ones, the blessed ones. You know why? Because they have learned a lesson, a vital lesson of life much early in their life. And that lesson is how to deal with non-conformity, how to deal with insecurities, how to deal with uncertainties. Because successful person is one who knows how to deal with these three. Academic, yes, it plays some role. Let me tell you, Arshad, when I did my PhD research, that was on a topic called, employability of engineering graduates in the state of Chhattisgarh. In the course of that research, I was, studying a lot of other studies done on engineering graduates and their employability. And in one of the studies, I found that it says that, whatever an engineer learns over a period of 4 years in the institution, only about 12 to 16% of that academic knowledge is used by and large over a period of next 20 years of his work life. So, 80-85% is not academics, it's something else. This study actually, there are exceptions of teaching careers or R&D careers, but by and large, any industry you talk about, academics has a limited role to play. There are life skills, managerial skills, and your thought engineering skills, which are more important. So this is very, very important, and students should consider themselves as very lucky and ride on the wave, enjoy. That's how it has to be.
Thanks a lot, sir. I think most wonderful insights. Uh, the points that you shared, like uh, beyond marks, what matters in the long term success is your emotional intelligence, your capacity to cope up with uncertainty, and even like the question of non-conformance, dealing with that. So these are like perhaps later in life in the corporate trainings, that is all if these are the things they focus on. So just would like to ask you, like, because you have such a vast experience of research as well as corporate training, uh, what are the simple ways, if you can suggest, that the youth, the students, and even those who have freshly joined their careers, what are the ways in which they can handle these most uh, important issues nobody talks about?
Yeah, as there was a book called "What They Don't Teach You in Harvard." So, likewise, there are many things. Many people will not teach you for years together after pandemic, and one of those is, empathy. Very, very important. Empathy. If you are a teacher, if you are a student, be it a researcher or an engineer or a doctor, one prominent aspect of any individual's personality which has to be there 100% is empathy. You have to be empathetic because everyone in this universe is stressed as of now, and the rate of depression, the stress within our human mind is increasing at an alarming rate because people they didn't expect this kind of a black swan event to come and disrupt the complete life situation. We could not think that moving out of the house will be a challenge. Lockdown was unimaginable, and slowly we are coming out of it. We came out of the wave one, again it became a devastating wave two. Now everyone is scared. We are still it's human nature to reconcile with situations, get back to normal. We are trying to do all that, but in the process we are all stressed, we are all depressed. So one important parameter which everyone should have, hold it strong in the mind, is empathy. Point number one. In terms of skills, one in terms of skills, future is about digital. Future is about digital. Everything is digital. Even this interaction we are having on digital. Digital has made things possible. It is last year in the month of March, suddenly the lockdown, 23rd of March, I guess, lockdown was imposed on the nation. By around mid of May, almost 90% of the IT industry went work from home. So the digital transformation, I would want to quote Mr. Sundar Pichai. He said that in 2 months' time, we did a digital transformation under compulsion. We did a digital transformation equivalent to what we would have otherwise done in 10 years period. And this digital transformation has accelerated the pace at which we work, at which we think, at which we expect results. So we all have to be digital. Even a doctor has to be digital today. So, you are a doctor or a driver or an engineer or a teacher, whatever career. So you need to learn digital skills. I usually tell people that if you want to drive a car, you should know how to fix a tire, flat tire. If you don't know that, better don't drive a car. Likewise, in today's world, at least elementary, things about the world of internet, the world of digital technology, everyone must be abreast about. So this is one thing. First, I told you about empathy. Second is digital. And third, which I want to tell is that let's upgrade our skills. I would want to quote research done by World Economic Forum, which says that every 10 years, almost 65% of the career options available for you today, it gets obsolete. Just think about it. So out of 100 career options, 65 become obsolete. And let me just explain it to you with an example. Today we have an Alexa banking. So, you just tell Alexa, please transfer this much amount from account A to account B, and Alexa does it for 10 years back. We didn't have this. We couldn't have even imagined this. Today, we have, medical bots. 10 years back, we couldn't have imagined this. Likewise, 10 years hence, you don't know what is going to, be the face of technology or the applications. So, what is important is one has to continuously upgrade oneself to be relevant in terms of skill. Rather, I would put it in this way: you have to today you have to run to stay where you are. So you have to run. Rather, maybe in a better way to put it, you have to run digitally to stay where you are. So to move forward, you have to take leaps forward and things like that. I think I've replied your questions.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sir. Like perfectly, and I think even like in the long-term success, there is without empathy, I don't think people have succeeded and have been a very loving,
Sure.
satisfied one. So I think empathy, of course, from the very beginning, it has to be there. And rightly said that in digital world you have to have that skill. The world is enabled by the digital. If you don't have, then you don't have the relevance in the job market. So
Absolutely.
yeah, and with digital comes the demon of you have to constantly upskill yourself. Otherwise, yeah. But I think people should also enjoy upskilling. The positive learning attitude also must be there.
They should enjoy, definitely, Harshad, it's a good word. They should enjoy digital. And also, one more thing I want to tell is that tomorrow you will see a lot of robots coming into our life. In India, there are, as in one estimate, I don't know how right or wrong it is, but we have almost 6,600 robots in our corporate world. In another 2 to 3 years' time, we are expecting around, 23,000 robots to enter the corporate world. In the whole world, we have around 250,000 robots working in the industry. And in another 2 years, 3 years' time, they expect that around 5 to 6 lakhs robots will enter. Now, what will happen is that robots are getting into everything. Today, we have a drone delivery of things. It may not have reached Chhattisgarh, but then it has reached India. So it's not just about digital. We are already thinking robotics. We are thinking application of digital technology in our day-to-day life. It just might be a case that you tell Alexa that you want groceries, and in another 15 minutes time, there is a drone which delivers groceries at your home. So this is something which can happen. Or if you want medicine, something can come up, pop up like that. So we have to be mentally prepared for this, especially considering the fact that where there is a technology, there is always a negative aspect of that, because there can be 100 loopholes, and there could be 100 kinds of challenges or even criminal things, or other possibilities which crop up with this. So we have to take care of it. So we have to be mentally strong. We have to be prepared to expect the unexpected. That's how I would like to put it.
Yeah, thanks a lot, sir. Truly, our lives would be digital driven. Yeah, thank you for the lovely insights. So the next question is around how do you see, because you've been in touch with the youth, how do you see the level of education and what positive steps have to be taken to really drive the level of education in the state?
One very good thing about this 21-year-old state, Chhattisgarh, I love the most, is that we have grown phenomenally well in terms of education. Which other state in India will give you an IIT, will give you, rather, which other city in India will give you an IIT, IIM, National Law University, Triple IT, almost all prominent academic institutions you have in Raipur and Bhilai. So that way we are, not just Raipur, Bhilai, but state has so many good academic institutions we are blessed to have this kind of a growth. What I think is that there are two areas where we need to work now. And one of those is basically into R&D and innovation, because, future is going to be with them who are innovative, who are creative, who are research oriented. So I think in our state, there should be a lot of investment going into research and development of, not just academic, but the application based into various segments. It could be into IT, it could be into gems and jewelry, it could be into horticulture, whatever. So we can identify the key focus areas and put a lot of R&D efforts into that. And bring in world class, connectivity with the best of the minds, and see how it grows. Because even in COVID, we have seen when you wanted a vaccine, R&D was, the first help which we could ever think of. So one thing is R&D, and second, because of this pandemic, the complete infrastructure is shattered. The schooling, the education, and teaching, learning, the pedagogy. So everything is gone haywire. I think, we need to rework on this complete setup once again. Maybe a lot of policy decisions have to be taken. We have to rethink on this education system, the pedagogy, and also invest into teachers training. Because I really empathize with those teachers who were not used to this technology. Overnight, they had to adopt this technology, and my regard to each one of those that they have adopted so well. Let's invest into teachers training also. So these are the two things.
Thanks a lot, Sir. Fantastic points. Yeah, so very fantastic points. Of course, I think the state has to prioritize on the areas they want to grow in. Investment along with people to create that ecosystem that propels the entire system forward and generates world-class professionals. So I think these are very interesting points. Thanks a lot for being with us at CG Innovate. It was a true pleasure and delight to have you. And we wish you best of luck as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Have a nice